All right, let's dive into something really mind-bending today. What if the universe isn't actually made of particles? I mean, at all. What if everything we see, everything we are, is just pure rotation? That's the wild idea behind a theory called supersymmetric geometric quantum mechanics, or the Aetheron Model.
We've all heard E equals mc squared, right? Mass and energy are two forms of the same thing. But this theory asks a deeper question. What if they're not just equivalent? What if they are literally, geometrically, two sides of the same coin? And the whole distinction we make between them is just, well, our limited perspective.
And this is the rulebook. It's called the Aetheron theorem, and it's actually pretty elegant. The equation says alpha squared equals mu squared plus E rot squared. Think of it like this. Alpha is the total amount of rotation in a system, and it never changes. It's a conserved value. Mu represents mass, and E rot represents rotational energy. They're locked in this geometric dance. If you increase the mass, the rotational energy has to go down to keep the total rotation, alpha, perfectly balanced. It's a fundamental conservation law built from pure geometry.
So if everything is spinning, you've got to ask, where is all this spinning happening? Well, it's not in our familiar 3 dimensions. According to this model, reality is playing out on a much, much grander stage. A 12-dimensional blueprint for the entire cosmos.
This 12D stage is called the Aetheron, and it's not some empty void. It's the very fabric of space-time itself. It's a dynamic, churning, rotational medium, and its physics are governed by something called spin-12 symmetry, which is really just a complete rulebook for every possible way you can rotate in 12 dimensions. You can think of it as the ultimate engine room of the universe. Okay, so let's break down those 12 dimensions. 4 of them are for us. That's our observable space-time, X, Y, Z, and time, what the theory calls M4. But the real action, the stuff that makes everything happen, is in a hidden 8-dimensional space called the F8 fiber. That's the engine room. The rotations happening in that hidden space are what generate all the physical properties we see in our world.
So, you've got this incredible 12-dimensional engine. What are its gears? Well, the cool thing about having more dimensions is you get a lot more ways to rotate. And I mean a lot more.
66, to be exact. And no, that's not just some random number. In a 12-dimensional space, there are precisely 66 fundamental ways to rotate. These are the basic gears of reality, the generators that drive every possible change and interaction in the universe. And these gears have different jobs. 6 of them, the SO4 group, handle rotations in our 4D spacetime. 28 of them, the SO8 group, are busy running the internal dynamics of that hidden 8D space. But the really crucial ones, the ones that make everything work, are these 32 mixed generators. They're like the transmission in a car, connecting the powerful spin of the engine to the wheels on the road. So what this all boils down to is that these 66 rotations are the complete toolkit for building a universe. Every force we measure, every particle we discover, it's all just a different combination of these fundamental geometric movements. And let's be clear, those 32 mixed generators are the absolute key to everything. They are the bridge. They're what couple the hidden spinning of the 8D engine to our 4D world. They are the reason we can measure anything at all. Without them, the hidden dynamics would just stay hidden. They're the mechanism that allows this deep geometric reality to manifest as the physics we actually experience.
Okay, so we have a 12D stage, and we have 66 gears turning. Now for the main event. What does this incredible cosmic machine actually produce? Well, it produces nothing less than the fundamental particles that make up you, me, and everything else.
Now you gotta get ready for this, because it's one of the most bizarre and beautiful facts in all of physics. To create a stable particle of matter, a fermion, like an electron, you need a very special kind of rotation. It has to turn not 360 degrees, but a full 720 degrees, 2 full rotations just to get back to where it started. This strange double turn is what fundamentally makes something a particle of matter.
This 720-degree journey isn't just one long spin. It happens in 4 distinct 180-degree phases. In each step, you have pairs of rotational axes that spin in perfect synchronization. It's like this intricate cosmic dance, where every single move is designed to maintain the perfect geometric balance that the Aetheron theorem demands.
So, from that dance, how do we get all the different particles we know and love? The recipe is just so elegant. There are 4 fundamental ways a fermion can rotate. Let's call them 4 fermionic axes. And each of these axes can exist in one of 3 distinct energy states or winding states. You do the math. 4 axes times 3 winding states gives you exactly 12 fundamental fermions. And here is the payoff. This simple recipe doesn't just give us any 12 particles. It generates the exact 12 fundamental quarks and leptons of the Standard Model. And those 3 generations of matter, they aren't really different particles at all. They're just the same geometric structures in different energy states. Generation 1 is the low-energy mass state. Generation 2 is the rotational energy state. And Generation 3 is the highest total energy state. It all just clicks into place.
This model even has a beautiful explanation for a weird quantum property called handedness. It turns out this isn't some abstract mathematical idea. No, it's a real physical property that comes directly from which way a particle is spinning in that hidden 8-dimensional space.
Check this out. If a particle spins right-handed, it generates a positive curvature, which we observe as electric charge. But if it spins left-handed, it creates a negative curvature, which cancels out the charge, making the particle neutral. All of a sudden, something like electric charge isn't some arbitrary property tacked onto a particle. It's a direct geometric consequence of how that particle is spinning in a higher dimension.
So, after all that, what's the big picture? What's the major takeaway from looking at the universe in this completely geometric way? Well, here's the bottom line. In this model, the laws of physics aren't just some random collection of rules that happen to describe our universe. Things like supersymmetry, the 3 generations of matter, the fundamental forces, they aren't arbitrary at all. They're the necessary, inevitable results of a single underlying reality, a 12-dimensional, rotating system.
And that leaves us with one last thought to chew on. What if we've been looking at reality all wrong? What if the universe isn't a messy machine made of countless little particles bumping into each other? What if it's more like a single, perfect, intricate crystal whose very rotation is everything we see, everything we feel, and everything we are?